welcome back to my channel. My name is thutomaphala channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, doll, and thank you so much for the love and all the lovely comments in my previous video. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, please leave a comment or just like this video. It really helps out. So yeah, this is just like a follow-up of what I said in my previous vlog. I saw you guys really enjoyed the vlog. Paris is really nice. I had a great time, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the vlog. I tried to vlog as much as possible, but like I said, most of the time we just did shopping. So yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at my puppy, guys. I'll show you guys her. So this is just a follow-up of what I said in my previous vlog about how I'm going to do basically things that you need to know about Paris before traveling there, the culture, flights, visas, and all of that good stuff. So this video is all about that. Anyway guys, let me introduce you guys to someone before I started this video. Come say hi. This is my puppy, Saint Laurent. She's so cute and so annoying. I vlogged her, but I don't know if I'm gonna put that video up because I don't know, I don't like how the video looks. Anyway, so I got this as a gift, and I don't know if I feel like she is a huge lesson as to why maybe I'm not ready to have a child, because the amount of work that goes into looking after this girl is a lot. So I'm gonna take her in for training because she hasn't been like potty trained. She basically poos and pees everywhere in the house. I had such a long morning because I had to clean after her from when she was sleeping in the cage. Like, she has a running tummy and she just did a lot overnight, so I had to do that. I almost didn't film this video because of how I was running up and down trying to clean the house, trying to clean up, give her food. So yeah, I definitely feel like she is sort of like a lesson that I'm probably not ready to have a kid yet. And I've had puppies before when I was younger, but you know, when you're young, most of the time like your mom looks after your puppy, so you don't really need to do much. But Saint is a lot of work, so I'm gonna take her to training school and then see how it goes. So this is my little child. She's cute and all, but she's so naughty. Do you guys see what she's doing? I literally cannot for the life of me. So I'm gonna put her down. I'll probably put her in the cage because we're not gonna get anywhere with her doing this. I don't know why she just doesn't sleep. Saint, look there, look here, look here. I got Saint Laurent as a gift from my man not man, but not too much on him because I don't have time for males because they be doing too much. And yeah, so thanks for the gift or whatever. Do you guys see how she's biting on me? She's a lot, but I'm gonna put her down and I'm gonna continue this video. Okay guys, I gave Saint to my god because there was no way that I was going to film that video. She was just taking too much time and like, no. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing that you have to do, which determines whether you're able to travel to Europe, is your visa. You need to do your Schengen visa. The UK and Europe have separated, so it's EU and UK. So your UK visa can't get you to Europe anymore. They have separated because of, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Brixton. Is it Brixton? I don't know. The girlies will know that I'm into politics. So yeah, Trevor did my visa. Trevor is like an agency. You can also get like a travel agency that can help you to do your visa. Because it was my first time going to Europe and needing a Schengen visa, I got an agency. Trevor has done all my visas actually. He did my UK one, and it's just so easy, and he just helps me a lot. So I'll definitely leave down his numbers in the description box and also on the screen, so you can contact him if you need a Schengen visa or any other visa really. And I feel like with a agency it's better because they literally tell you everything that is required, and they usually know whether you're going to be accepted or not because they know what documents are required, and they will see from your documents whether you sort of like are going to, if your visa is going to get approved or rejected. So he just sent me a list of things that I needed to take to my appointment. So it is a passport copy, flights and accommodation itinerary, bank statement 3 months, and proof of res. So I just forwarded all those details to him, and then he set an appointment for me. Also, it's very important to start with your visa first, like maybe like 2 months before your trip, because it depends on which season it is. The embassy could be very busy that you can't get an appointment till maybe you have to travel, then you have to wait for their answer. So just to be on the safe side, do everything on time, you don't get any disappointments. I got my appointment I think end of April, and we were only traveling end of June, so that was like 2 months for me to get approved or rejected. If I were to be rejected, then I can have enough time also to reapply and for my documents to get approved again. So yeah, if you want Trevor to help you with your visa, I'll just leave his details down below and you can contact him. Obviously you can use any other agency, or you can do it yourself. You can literally do it yourself, but I didn't want that type of stress because it was my first time doing a Schengen visa, and yeah, I wanted my visa to get approved. So I worked with someone that has experience and knows exactly what I need to bring to my appointment. When I got to the embassy, the process was relatively easy. I just took pictures, they did my fingerprints, and I think the whole process took like an hour. And I was just like, how long is it gonna take for my visa to get approved? And it actually didn't take that long. It took about a week. And now you don't have to go to the embassy to fetch your passport. They'll send it to maybe your home address, or they can send it to a postnet. So I opted for it to get sent to postnet. I don't know why, because I think I was at home, so I don't want them coming here and then, you know, like I just wanted it to go to postnet because I knew someone could fetch it for me. So I asked me to go and fetch it for me because that was the time that I wanted to book my flight. So yeah, the second thing that you want to do is, so the second thing that we did is do our accommodation, and we did our accommodation months before. We did it in March, and we used booking.com because it allows you to have the option of reserving the hotel without having to pay now. So we reserved the hotel in March, and we didn't pay until a week before we traveled. And with booking.com, because we had to change our dates, we were able to do that without having to pay. It really depends whether the hotel wants you to pay or not, but we were lucky enough because we changed our dates I think 2 weeks before, because Piers had to write an exam and we had to move our dates. So I quickly made the changes. So that's why I like doing my bookings on booking.com, because it gives you the pleasure of having to make changes, to not having to pay now if you're indecisive, and you can cancel your bookings. And we did our accommodation first in March because of the time that we were traveling to Paris. We were going at a time where it's summer, obviously, so it was very busy, and Piers advised that we do accommodation first because it was going to get very expensive, and it kind of was pricey. So yeah, the hotel that we stayed in was Novotel. I can't pronounce the area that it was in, so it wasn't too far from Paris. I think it was like central Paris, so I think it was like 10 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. So the third thing that I did on the trip is book my flight. When did I book my flight? I think I did my flight like 2 weeks before. My flight was the last thing that I did, and it is a good thing that I did my flight last, because we had to make changes to our booking. So can you imagine if I booked my flight first and then we had to change our dates for accommodation? Obviously with flights it's way, I don't know, I just feel like it's more complicated. Like airlines are so complex, like they're gonna tell you can't get a refund, blah 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 blah. So I was really happy when we were changing our dates that I did not book my flight then. So I always do my flight last, I don't know why. But those flight prices, baby, let me tell you, those flight prices were crazy. Like, I think the whole of, my friend was even telling me that I'm brave for booking my flight last, because people usually when they travel to Europe, they do their flight months before. Like some people even do it like a year before, or like 6 months before actually traveling to Europe, because those prices are hot. Like they are hot because it's peak season. If you're gonna go to Europe in summer, it's peak season. Like that's when it's very busy and everyone is traveling there. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if you're gonna do your flight first, but also if you don't do your visa first, because I remember when my visa came out, when they sent me an SMS that my visa is out, I literally asked me to rush to Postmates and open my package to see if my visa was approved. And luckily my visa was approved, and then I was like, okay, now this is my go ahead to actually book my flight, because if my visa was rejected, I could just cancel my bookings for the hotel. I didn't pay anything and my flight was not booked. So that's why I'm saying that you need to put things on reserve and maybe do your flight last. I don't know, that's just my advice. It just depends on how you see it. Okay, so for activities, we actually didn't do activities, guys. We actually didn't do activities, but there's really not much to do in Paris. Hey, like, people go to Paris so that they can go shopping, and that's what we were doing. Like, we just did shopping. You can eat out at restaurants, you can go do tourist things, like go to the museum, go to the art galleries. I don't know, we did not explore those things, so I really cannot say much about what you can get up to in Paris besides shopping. So yeah, and also I feel like Piers advised that we should do 2 cities, because she just feels like 7 days in Paris, we're just going to, no, actually 8 days, we're gone for 8 days. 8 days was just going to be too much to be in Paris. Like, you're gonna end up getting bored. So if you're going to Europe, I'd advise that maybe do 2 cities, so you can go to Paris and maybe another city. Like, the cities are very close to each other, like they are literally a train away or a flight away. So we went to Nice and Monaco, and Nice was actually 6 hours away. I didn't know that. And when we had to do like our flight and train, Peter's like, this place is actually like 6 hours away. I'm like, no, you're lying. But with the flight, it's an hour. So it's really up to you if you just want to stay in Paris and just do that, or explore and go to other cities. Milan is also very close, Italy is close, Florence, like, they're all so close. So I don't know, maybe you might want to try out other cities instead of just going straight to Paris. Greece is also close, so people usually do that. Okay, let's talk about transport. So with transport, oh my gosh, guys, transport was actually so expensive in that country. It was literally so expensive. Now that I look back, I'm just like, that was quite interesting. So we had a personal driver. You can get your own personal driver, whichever car. We wanted to be Lux babes, so we opted for a Mercedes, and our driver was Lenny. You guys saw, Lenny is so nice. Like, literally when I arrived, I was like, Lenny, can I please get a SIM card, because I don't want to be depending on the Wi-Fi by the hotel or at the mall. I always wanted to be on my phone. So then he was like, okay, sure, let me get you a SIM card. So he got me a SIM card, he got me coffee, and he took me to my hotel to check in. So yeah, you can get a personal driver if you want to. I'll leave down Lenny's details if you happen to be in Paris and need a driver. And Lenny's so quick, hey. I think he wasn't busy at that time, because we literally texted him like, hey Lenny, can you please pick us up? He'd be like, okay, 30 minutes. So yeah, he charges, I think it's 70 euros per hour. So it's really up to you, girl, if you're gonna spend 3 hours in the city. He can also wait for you, so you can go shopping and then he'll wait for you. He'll come and help you with your bags, like madame things, like open doors for you. Like, Lenny is literally a gentleman. Like, he offers luxury services to you, like luxury transportation for you. So that's what we liked about it. So yeah, Pez and I, when we were using Lenny, we were like, oh my gosh, like, we're spending so much. Like, in a day, guys, I don't even want to lie. I was even telling my friends, I'm like, we are spending less than 3,000 in a day on transportation, and that is crazy, guys. Because I think, let me just be honest, Paris was probably, this trip was the most expensive trip that I've been on. That's how I was saving for so long, because it was literally so expensive, guys. Like, from the transport to the food, sis. Like, so if it's like, sometimes Lenny will pick us up and we would go for shisha and would spend like maybe 2 hours at a shisha place. That's already 140 euros. So you do the math, sis. You just do the math. So you can also, if you don't want a personal driver, so So yeah, you can also use Bolt. I know in our country we don't condone people using Bolt because there's just so many bad stories that we've heard about Bolt drivers. So when Pets was like, you can use Bolt, I'm like, oh child, the ghetto Bolt. But Bolt was actually quite convenient. It was cheaper than Uber, but I answered, like, if I couldn't find any drivers on Bolt, then I would use Uber. They were way cheaper than Lenny charging us 70 euros per hour. Like a trip could probably be like 10 euros, 20 euros, depending on where you're going, 30, 40. So yeah. And then let's speak a bit about like the culture. People in Europe, well in Paris, speak French. Okay, they will speak French. So I was lucky enough that I was with someone that knows how to speak French, so I didn't need to use my Google Translate. But like 2 days, yeah, the day before, actually I was by myself for like almost 2 days before she came. I had to use Google Translate at the restaurant. Yeah, like even ordering food was kind of like difficult because some of the menus actually don't have English. So I would write down everything, like I'll ask the waiter, is this nice? What is this? Like we'll communicate on Google Translate because the people there literally speak French, like almost everyone. But the sales associates in the store speak English a lot because obviously it's, I didn't understand it though. Like Paris is such a tourist country that I didn't understand how there wasn't a lot of people that were speaking French. But yeah, that's just them. They speak a lot of French, so just be prepared for that. Okay, let's talk about shopping. So my advice is that if you're planning to go to Paris during the summer, you should go from the 17th of June till the 29th of July, because that is, you know how we have the Zara sale, like the mid-year sale, and most stores have sales. Paris has that, but basically the entire city has Soldes. It's called Soldes, so S-O-L-D-E-S. I don't know if I said it right, but I think the entire Europe, because even when we went to Nice, they had Soldes in most stores. I'm not too sure about Monaco. I actually didn't pay attention. So yeah, there's a sale literally everywhere in every store. Like you can get things for like 50%, 70%, 20%. Like it's really nice. Like even the Zara's, when we went to Zara, when you guys saw when I was sitting outside the mall and waiting for Pets, there was a sale there. Literally you get it, like the whole of Paris was on sale. So if you're someone that is going for shopping and like a little discount and sales, it'll be ideal for you to go during this period. Okay, so for food, the food was kind of like expensive, which kind of makes sense because I can't really compare it to our currency. That's the first thing. Like if you're gonna travel, just don't compare things to your currency because the euro is obviously way stronger than ours. So things like smoothies were like 200 rand, a Coke was like 150, a small Coke. So if you're gonna eat out, if you're gonna do shopping, my advice is that do not convert things because it's just gonna spoil things. You're just gonna be like, raw, like I'm really spending this much on this. But if you're interested and want to know how much things cost, then I mean, I guess you can convert in your head. So yeah, Pez and I really don't eat that much, so I wasn't really paying attention to how much food cost. And like in a day we'll probably eat like once. We don't eat much, so I wasn't really paying attention to food like that. So yeah, let's talk about like currency and money. So before I left, I exchanged my money because I just wanted to have some cash on me. Like, you know, sometimes when you're grabbing like a Bolt or an Uber, you want to pay by cash or you can use your card, but those conversions were just a little too much. Like, let me just convert for you. So let's say I took a Uber and I'm paying 50 euros. That's 1k. Like I would go crazy if I had to swipe 1k on Uber probably 3 times in a day. Like I told you guys, you'd have to go here, go there, go there. I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. So I exchanged my money before, so I don't have to think about me spending a lot of money on things such as transport and food. So yeah, you can still use your card, you can put your card on Uber, but I was just like, I don't want my joy to be stolen from this trip. so I'm just not gonna be thinking about how much I'm spending. I just feel like it's so much easier when they're telling you, oh, it's 50 euros, it's 30 euros. You don't really like deep it that much about how much you're actually paying in rands. So yeah, and maybe like, what if during the trip your card starts giving you problems? At least you have cash to pay. But I ended up using all my cash. That's how much shopping we did. Like, I was alternating between my card and cash, or like I would mix, like maybe if something is 500 euros, I'll pay 250 with my card, and then I'll pay cash the 250 to settle it. So it's really up to you, like what you guys usually do when you travel. Like, do you use your card or do you have cash? But also with the cash thing, I'll admit that it made me a little bit paranoid, because I had so much cash on me, because I also had to withdraw for pets. So I had a lot of money on me and I was just paranoid. I'm just like, child, if somebody robs me, child, if somebody robs me. Anyway, so let's talk about the last thing, which is the text bag. So if you know anything about text bag, it's that if you are a tourist and you're shopping in a country that you don't live in, whatever that you buy, the country is able to give you the tax, so you don't pay the taxes in that country, which is why people love going shopping in Europe, because you get 10% or 12%. Some countries are even 14%. I know Spain is 14%. I saw a chart of how much tax back you get in certain countries in Europe. So that is a nice thing. That's why I love shopping in Europe, guys. Like, the tax back also just makes you feel like you're not spending as much. Like, oh, I'm getting some money back from what I'm buying. Let me just explain how the tax back works. So let's say, for example, okay, let me make an example with my YSL bag. So the bag was, how much was it? It was 990 euros. That's how much the bag was. And if you opt for them to give you the tax back, so you have an option of getting it in cash. So when you get to the airport, they can give you cash, or they can send it back to the card that you purchased it with, which is 12%, which is more. So let's say 990 times 10%, that is 99. So you're getting like 99 euros back. That is about 1.8, which is a lot. So the bag essentially was like 21k, 20k. So that means that I bought the bag for 18,000, which is rewarding in my head, because I'm just like, ooh, I saved some money, you know. So yeah, with the tax bag, how it works is that you need to carry your passport with you at the store every day. I always had my passport with me though anyway. Yeah, because I just have the fear of losing my passport in a different country. Like, what am I gonna do? That is my biggest fear. Like, have you guys seen that TikTok where you're checking your passport every second? That is literally me. I gotta check where my passport is. If I'm sitting down, I gotta know where my passport is, because I don't want to be staying in that country for that long, you know what I'm saying? So I want to come back home. So with the tax back, the sales associate will ask you, would you like tax back? And then you'll say yes or no. And then if you say yes, then they'll take your passport and then they'll ring it when you are paying, and then they give you a form which is written tax back, and then she'll ask you, do you want cash or do you want it to go back to your credit card or whatever card that you used. So I said I want cash, because Pets told me that in Europe they take long to actually give you a tax back, which I'm kind of seeing it, because we did a tax back on one of our purchases and till now they haven't sent the money back, and it's almost like 3 weeks. I know with Dubai, I've opted to get my tax back on my card, and it literally took a week. Also with Turkey, when I traveled to Turkey, my tax back took like a week. So she even said to me that this one time she said the tax back must go back on her card, and she never got it, and it was worth a lot. So I don't know, hey, like, I was just like, okay, I want cash. So then they'll give you the form. So then when you get to the airport, make sure that you get to the airport on time before your flight boards, so that you have enough time to claim your tax back. So when you get there, they want to see what you are claiming back, your purchases. You have to present them your purchases and the forms. So you go there there's usually machines. There was machines for us, so we actually didn't need to show them what we purchased because the machines just scanned everything. So you scan your documents and they'll either get validated or not validated. If they're not validated, then you go to the office. At the office will probably, I don't know what they ask you, they'll probably ask you, or they want to see what you're claiming back. I know when I was in Turkey, when I was doing my tax back, they literally wanted to see every item. So they'll be like, LV bag, then you have to show them. Gucci bag, you have to show them. Like the officer will be reading what you're claiming and you have to show them the item. So the process was very easy. So all the documents got validated, and then after that you go to the other side where they can give you the cash. So they gave me euros back on my taxes on everything that I claimed. So yeah, that is my favorite part about shopping in Europe, getting a tax back, because you can actually get a lot. Because imagine if you're buying something that is like really expensive, your tax back is going to be really good, and it's just rewarding. Like it just makes you feel like you're actually not spending that much on that item, you know. So yeah, that is the essence. That is why people like shopping in Europe, because of the tax back. It's just delicious. So yeah, that's why people always say that it's cheaper shopping in Europe, because the prices are actually not the same as opposed to somewhere else. Dubai is actually the worst place to go shopping. I don't know if you guys know that. It's the worst. It is so expensive. Like I always say this to you guys, each country differs with how things are priced, and every time I go on the websites, I'm just like, you guys are doing a lot. And the tax back is only 5%. What is 5%? I remember with my YSL bag, I think I got like 1.5 back, and that bag was quite expensive. Like 1.5 what? No, if it was in Europe, I probably would have gotten like maybe 3k back. So yeah, if you're someone that loves shopping like me, definitely travel to Europe for some delicious tax back. Okay. So yeah, that is all. What else did I miss out? I think I've mentioned everything. Okay, I think I've mentioned everything. Okay, the accommodation, because we went to Nice, we booked Nice instead because Monaco is kind of expensive, you know. So Monaco is expensive. Like, what can you say? It is Monaco. So Nice was a bit cheaper, but still expensive. So we booked on bookings.com as well, and we were staying at that hotel that you guys saw in my vlog. It was actually very cute, but it was quite small, but very, very, very cute. I wish we stayed there for long, but we were actually just in Nice for like 2 days, eh? And we were supposed to be there for like 3 days, but we had to travel back to Paris, come back to South Africa, so that's why we stayed there for that little time. I hope I was able to give you guys more insights, and I hope this was very helpful to you if you're planning a trip to Europe in summer or whichever time. I hope you got to learn something from what I spoke about, and yeah, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, okay? Leave a little comment. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys traveled to Europe? Are you guys still planning to travel to Europe this summer? When does the winter start? I don't know. I think like October or November, so there's still time for you to travel. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. I think I'm going to do like a first bag type of video, like which bags you should buy if you're starting off with your collection. Sounds quite interesting. So yeah, let me go, guys. Let me go and fetch a Saint. I don't know if she's hungry, but she's refusing to eat her food. Anyway, I'm talking too much about this girl, and no. Anyway, bye guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos and always supporting me. Okay. No, I'm doing too much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for always watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.